2022, we decided to, I suppose, up-level our game, and now we're streaming here to Facebook Live. We're streaming to a couple of our pages, our business page and my personal page. We're also streaming to our YouTube account and also to our LinkedIn account, hoping that everything does work. So if you're watching me live and you're here today, and you got to listen to what we've got to share with you. We want to share with you what are your three major moves in 2022? What are the choices that you have? What are the decisions that you have to make in order to start moving your life forward and bringing more that love, joy and happiness and success that it is that you want in your life? And so wherever you're coming from, if you're watching this live, just tell me #live, tell me where you're watching it from, who you are, and which platform. Are you on YouTube? Are you on Facebook? Are you on LinkedIn? Let us know where you're coming from so we can give you an experience what you've asked for. Like over the last 2 or 3 weeks, we've been coming live here on social media, just talking to people, just sharing with people what we've been doing over the last 25 years in the field of complementary medicine, personal growth and human performance, and helping people to level up their lives, helping people to be able to get a better quality of life by making the decision they need to make today to bring the things which they want in their life. Well, let me ask you this question. As you think back of the last 18, 24 months, what is it you left slide in your life? What is it that you've let go of? What is it that you somehow have lost from your life in the last 12, 18, 24 months? So we've got Dean watching here. He's watching on YouTube. Thank you, Dean, for coming in from Humpty Doo all the way in Darwin. Thank you so much for supporting us and being here. So what have you let slide? What is it you want to bring more of in your life? And so we came here over the last 2 or 3 weeks and we shared with you 33 ways to crush the things which are holding you back from experiencing happiness and success. And and happiness and success is different for different people. And we got such great feedback, and everyone's saying, we just love you coming, sharing. Why don't you come on board and let us know what it is that you do? What do you do with your institute, the MBX Institute? What is it you do with your training, with your coaching? And I know you've been in the space for 25, 30 years. I know you've trained over tens of thousands of students, have trained in a lot of different modalities, been part of a number of different faculties, a number of different, the largest training organisations and, natural therapy colleges here in Australia. And we're still here. We're still showing up every day, and we're still doing what it is that we do and helping people to live a better quality of life, helping them to transform their pain into power and to move forward with grace and with ease, to live that life which they're destined to live. So today what we want to talk about, what I believe your 3 major moves are in the next year. I mean, you think about it, we've got an opportunity, we need to make a decision. We're basically at the end of January, we're about to start February, and you know what, it doesn't matter whether it's the beginning of the year, the middle of the year, or the end of the year. Your year can start today. Your next life, you moving forward, can start today. It starts with a decision today. And that's what we've decided to do, to come here today and share with you and have a bit of an experience in terms of how we do our training. So you're going to see how we do our training so you can understand how we come to you live and connect with people from different platforms. So this is my training room here. On the other side of my camera, as a lot of you know, I live here in Cronulla. This is my beautiful spot that I go for a walk every morning. We've got people at the beach there today. So that's my veranda. So we've got a camera at the veranda. So that's Cronulla. And in my studio, if you want to see what my studio looks like, well, that's what it looks like here. I'm coming to you live. I'm in this camera right now. You can see we've got all this set up, and they're coming to you live on the different platforms. I suppose this is another look from a different angle from my Mac I'm running this. And of course, what I want to do is bring you to our PowerPoint presentation slide. And we're going to be sharing some slides, and we'll also be going to our flip chart over here and doing some work. So as you can see, I'm just showing you all this because we've been doing this for 25 years. We've been coming to people doing this work and providing a service, a training, an education opportunity for them to upskill their mindset, to heal their heart, to nurture their soul, to uplift their spirits, so they can become better quality beings. And a lot of our training was face-to-face for 23 years over the last 25 years. And in the last 2 years, we needed to change the game. We needed to look at how can we continue doing what we do, but do it at another level, not just a little webinar where you're someone in the corner, just doing what it is that they do, and they do a good job, but how can we make it better? And so this is what we do. So today, what we want to work with you, let's go into my slides and get started. The presentation probably lasts maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes tops, guys, and this is part 1. We're going to be coming to you over the next 4 days, same time, around 12 or 12:15 every day. I know tomorrow's Australia Day, so a lot of people might be at the beach. It's going to be a great day, but hey, these are recorded, and we'll put them together as a masterclass series so you can catch them later on. Obviously, they're here on these Facebook pages, so check them out. So if you're watching later on, share them with people if you got anything out of them, and just let us know what you've got out of it, and has it made a difference? And because that makes a difference for us to know that we're here to serve you. Now, what is it that we do? People say, what have you been doing over the last 25, 30 years? Really, it's exactly what I've got up here, guys. We help individuals, and especially over the last 24 months, we help individuals just like you to build resilience and inner strength. You know, all the work is the inner work. If you want to have the life that you want to have on the outside, you've got to do the work on the inside. So we help you build the inner strength, build the resilience so you can navigate the road ahead, so you can get ahead without losing your integrity and your passion for life. So many people over the last 24 months have ended up doing what they don't want to do, have felt they've been forced into a situation where the freedoms have disappeared and losing really a sense of themselves, and they've disconnected. They've disconnected with their zest for life, their passion for life, and the reason for their existence. So many students, so many clients that I've talked to, it's like, well, they don't know what's next, just sitting on the fence waiting to see what happens. They're no longer being proactive in life, they're being, well, reactive. We're going to be talking about as the first thing that we've all fallen into. So really what we've been doing is helping people to, you know, connect to their authentic self, to stand up, speak up, and to show up. Who are you at your core? What is it you need to work with? What are the things that you need to let go of the past? I want you to be a better quality being today. And what is it you want to achieve in the future? And what do you need to do to bring that in? So the secret to getting everything that you want, guys, you know, when you think about, you know, today, we're in the present, right? So the present is the only moment we've got any power. The past is history. The past doesn't have any control of you. I mean, the past means nothing unless you choose to live there. So your future is your past if you still choose to live in the past. Where is your emotional home? If you're saying the present is the power that you have today to make decisions on how you choose to live your life today and in the future. So I'm asking you the question, is your present driven by moving away from all the things that you're still holding on to and you haven't healed from the past? And so your decisions are made based on those experiences. And so they're skewed. They're skewed by those experiences. They're skewed by those references. They're skewed by the belief systems and the programs that you develop in terms of your coping mechanisms. Aren't you more than that? Couldn't you be better? Of course you can. But what if you thought about the future and the person that you'd want to be? Who do you need to be today in order to be able to get all the things that you want in your life? Then if you're thinking of the future, if you become a possibilitarian, then today, the power that you have today is that you can make a choice today to be a better quality human being. So many people think they're living in the present, right? Just doing nothing, praying to whoever their power is to have all the things that they want in their life, but they're still being controlled by the past because they haven't healed the past. And I'm here to tell you that the past served the purpose. The past served the purpose for you to be the person that you are today, so you can rise up, stand up, speak up, and share your magic, share your energy, share your spirit, share your heart, share your love with everyone on the planet. See, I believe there's two reasons why we exist here on this planet, guys. One is to evolve as a human being, evolve as a spirit, evolve as an energy. And two is help other people to evolve. Now, how long that takes for you is how long it takes for you. There's no right or wrong. There's no time frame on the journey. And there's no good or bad or someone further ahead or further behind. We're not judging here. We're just reporting. We're on this journey together and we're at different stages. And so if you're listening to this at this stage in your life, it means that possibly you're ready to maybe take on something new. Start thinking differently. Start exploring how have you made decisions today because of the past that led to you experiencing the life you're experiencing today. And what decisions you need to make today in order to have the life that you want in the future. See, if you want to have the life in the future, I want to tell you this, right? Really, what is a secret to being able to achieve the things that you want in your life? First, you need to have clarity, right? We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about what is it that you want in your life. So, you know, you need to draw a line and say, what is it you want for your health, your career, your relationships, your finances? You need to have clarity in your unconscious mind. Let your unconscious mind know exactly what it is that you're aspiring to. It's an aspiration that you need to have. Then once you have that, detach from it. So many people still live in the future. It's like they keep on planning and make it all about that, and they hustle and hustle and hustle and hustle, and they work hard and they do whatever they can to achieve that, only to lose it. Because they've achieved that stuff extrinsically, they got all the things that they want, but they didn't change inside. They were still the same person they were yesterday and today. And so they weren't aligned with the assignment. They weren't aligned with the result. So once they got there, the good news is they create a strategy to get there, but they weren't the person that they needed to be to keep it, to sustain it, to maintain it, and to hold that into their life. And so the secret is this: get very clear what you want and ask yourself this question: what type of person has this stuff? What type of person lives this way? What type of person experiences this type of life? Tell me about that person. What is this person's values? What's important to this person? You know what your job is? To then go to work and become that person. And when you become that person, not only will you create that stuff in your life, you'll attract it in your life, you'll keep it in your life as well too. So let's start, because in order for us to start in terms of working out where we want to be and talk about where your three major moves are, let's get very clear. Where are you right now in your life? If we want to get somewhere, you've got to be very clear. It's like a GPS, right? We need to know where we're starting from so we can work out and navigate the way to get there in the quickest way, or without the tolls, or whatever it may be, to get there. So where are you now in your life? I want you to think about your spirituality, your career, your family, your relationships, your personal growth, your health and fitness. Where are you with that right now? Are you where you want to be? People say, I'm exactly where I need to be. I get that. Can you be better? Would you like more? See, the thing that bands us together as human beings, what binds us together, the same virtues and same values, all of us want more. Whatever more is for you, more happiness, more freedom, more joy, more success, more love in your life. So whatever more is for you, we all want more, right? But we need to understand the difference between hedonic happiness and eudaimonic happiness. And some people get caught up with their instant gratification and realize that true happiness doesn't come from the attainment of the things. It comes from the pursuit of happiness. So I want you to think that the journey is where you find the happiness, not the end result. So if you want to just be happy, is that the end result? No. It's the journey. It's the pursuit of happiness. And science shows that the people that are most happiest are the ones that move into the stretch, the ones that actually look at the obstacle, understand that the obstacle's not in the way, it's on the way, and so it becomes the way. So the impediment is the way. Ryan Holiday's book, The Obstacle is the Way. And so that's the most happiest people realize that, you know, they're not entitled, they're not victims. They understand that what they achieve in their life with a bit of sweat on their brow, they get a sense of fulfillment. They've been able to do it. It wasn't just given to them. So where are you now in your life? And so it tells me the next question is going to be, so how would you like your life to be different in 2022? As you look at all these other areas in your life, how would you like it to be different in 2022? What do you want different? Because if you want something to be different, you want more fulfillment, more joy, more connection spiritually, more depth in your meditation, more joy with your family, more time, more quality time with your family. What about better quality in relationships, a deeper sense of love and connection, personal growth, expanding your mind, healing your heart in terms of health and fitness so your body can be vibrant and vital again, and in a career where you're serving, making an impact and earning an income with dignity that you deserve, helping other people. Is that what you would like? Because if that's what you like, my question to you is, what's your next step, guys? What's your next step? How do you get there? What's the path that you go through? And this is what we've been doing here at the college at MBX Institute and the work that I've been doing for the last 25 and 30 years. And I'm grateful for everyone that's come along the way. Students that have ended up being my colleagues, that have ended up being my personal friends. They've worked with us and they've been with us for a certain amount of time and they've gone on their journey. So we understand this is what life is about. People come into your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. And whatever that situation is, it's a lesson for you to become a better human being. And perhaps we're coming together today for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. What I do know is we're coming together. It's going to help both of us become a better quality, better human being and be able to serve in another level, a higher vibration, higher frequency. So what's your next step? Here's what I believe your next step is, guys. Your next step, what's your next level of success? Your next level of success is this. It's very simple. Your next level of success is your next level of ownership. In order for you to get to where you want to go, you need to own something. You need to own your future. You need to take charge of the future. Now that sounds all great, but what's the problem? Let's start with what's going on today, because it's great to own the future. It's great to actually do all the mindset stuff, but what's going on today and why do we exist and to help people get over this obstacle? Because the obstacle is the way, right? So here's what's happening today. What's the problem? You know what's happening today? A lot of people, they've got this light, this brilliance, this caterpillar that's turned into this wonderful butterfly, ready to explode, spread its wings and fly, but somehow we're still caught up. That brilliant being, that light, that butterfly that's ready to share its gifts to the planet and to the earth and to everyone else is still a prisoner. Now, when you think about what's going on today with this global situation, whatever you want to call it, we've all been forced to go inside and explore what's going on in our lives, what's important to us. People have lost their jobs. People have lost relationships. People have Yeah, families have separated. People have not been able to travel, not see families. But, that's on one side. But on the other side, there's been opportunities as well too. It's just the way you look at it. It's glass, right? Like if you look outside, is that partly cloudy or mostly sunny? It's what you make it to be. Isn't that right? So coming back to these slides, guys. So what I see a lot of people today is no longer being proactive. They're actually becoming reactive in life. It's the stress of not knowing what's happening, the stress of the situations, like outside is affecting me. I can't do this because of that. So people become can't people. They're now at effect to everything outside of them, and that causes them to react. How many people do you know are reactive? Have you been reactive? Have you jumped the gun with certain things? It was, oh my God, where does that come from? See, we're reactive because we fall back to old coping mechanisms to be able to handle the stress that's come up in our life. And we're using old ways which don't serve us anymore. Old ways won't open new doors. We need new ways to open new doors. So you need to evolve yourself in order to open yours. How do you go from the stress and react to actually being resourceful? And so when people stress out and they react, they burn themselves out, guys. They start to think, oh my God, I'm not going to be able to provide for my family. Things aren't going to be the same. So they start to get anxious, right? And anxiety is a future emotion. People start to get anxious about the future because they don't know. There's a lot of uncertainty. When really the only certain thing life can give you is uncertainty. If you can lie in the depths of uncertainty, be okay with yourself and love yourself and have the strength within you and know that you've got this and you've got the resources you need to actually rise up and do whatever you can, man, you are free. That's what true freedom is. Being able to believe in yourself in the space of uncertainty. And know that whatever's happening is happening for a reason, for you to be a better quality human being. And so with anxiety, people get caught up in their head. And guess what happens? They don't sleep at night and they feel run down. They burn a candle at both ends. So you've got people who are reactive. You've got people who are run down. And guess what happens after that? Well, we all fall into depression. I've been there. We get caught up in this prison. Maybe you've been there. Maybe you have some family, friends been there. And the World Health Organization 2 years ago said by the year 2015, this is before the pandemic, by the year 2015, that depression and mental health is going to be the number one killer in the Western world. Now, what's happened after this pandemic is the question. So people fall into their own black hole and they ruminate and they get caught up in the head. And when you're in the head, you're dead. And when you ruminate and ruminate and ruminate, guess what happens? You disconnect. You disconnect from the world. You disconnect from yourself. You disconnect from your soul. You disconnect from your passion. You might be waiting for someone just to lend a hand to pull you out of that quicksand. Maybe that's why you're here. So let me introduce to you guys what we call our R3 protocol, the 3 major moves. That's what we're going to be sharing with you over the next 3 or 4 days. We're going to open up the 3 major moves. Today we're going to be talking about the first move. I'm at about 18 minutes, probably got another 7 minutes, guys. So it'll be about a 25-minute video here, which is, there's a lot of stuff that we're sharing with you. And you can come and watch it later on. So your 3 major moves. What's your first major move? Let me go to my flip chart over here. So again, we're changing things up for you. So I want you to think about, we have 3 major moves. If we look at our moves like this, these are the 3 major moves that we want to be able to consider, and where do we need to go. So right now we've got so many people experiencing stress. Right? The stress leads to you being reactive. So the question is, what can we do in order for you to go from reactive to what? Right? We'll talk about stress, run down, and I'll be coming to these, every day, and of course, ruminating. So these are the 3 things that we get caught up with that make us to disconnect in life. And here you experience what we call SAD, seasonal affective disorder. We're all being affected by what's happening with the world outside and the choice that we make. So the question is, how do we go from reactive to resourceful? We want to become resourceful. We don't want to react. We want to realize that, something's happened to us. How can we give that a different meaning in order for us to be able to react differently? In other words, be more resourceful to actually find a solution. Because the only reason we're reacting is because of the meaning we give to the situation that's happening to our life. The only thing everything, I suppose, let me put it this way. Everything that you give, any meaning that you give to everything could be the reason why you rise up or you give up. Could be the reason why you actually react or you search for the resources inside you in order for you to thrive. So we want you to go from reactive to resourceful. So how do you become resourceful, guys? How do you actually know that you've got all the power and all the resources inside you to be the person that you want to be? And the secret to do that is, what you need to do is you need to rewire your brain. You need to change your thinking. So for this first move, the choice you have to make is you've got to start changing your thinking. You've got to start changing your mindset. It's all about your mindset. So if you want results in life that you never had before, you need to do the things in life that you've never done before. And to do the things in life you've never done before, you need to think in life in a way that you never thought before. See, that's the paradox. How can you think about what you never thought of if you never thought of not only what it is that you think, but more importantly, how it is that you think that thought? So what we need to do is rewire. So the first move is time to rewire, time to recondition. We need to rewire our thinking. And how do we do that? Well, there's a number of techniques I can work with. And here at the MBX Institute, the number one technique, the number one program, the number one process that, that individuals learn, it's a life skills program. It's not necessarily a program that, well, if you want to become a coach, you want to go into space and actually help people rise up and be better quality beings, you can. But the number one program that's going to help you rewire your brain, think differently, let go of your limiting decisions, your negative emotions, so you can actually move forward with grace and ease, is our neuro-linguistic programming, our NLP. For 25, 30 years, there's no program on the planet that I've experienced or I've taught or I've shared with people that's had a bigger impact than that program at that level. So my wish for you is that if you haven't done that, consider it. And if you have done that, consider it again, because there's always more to learn. I'm telling you, I've been doing 25 and 30 years, and there's always more to learn. Each time we deliver it, tens of thousands of people have learned the stuff from us. Each time we deliver it, there's more stuff to learn. So what I want to share with you is this. I want you to understand that stuff happens in our life, right? So if I draw a little character over here, let me draw a little character, because I want to give an understanding how we rewire, what we need to do, right? So if I draw this little character over here, you can tell me who he is. I like my drawing, right? So here we go. We got Fred. All right, it says Fred Flintstone. So Fred works out what happens in his life, right? So stuff happens for Fred. Stuff happens for Fred. Fred experiences consciousness. And do you know that the research shows that at any one time, Fred collects information. He collects information. He sees things, visual, auditory, kinesthetic, olfactory, gustatory. We use our 5 senses to pick up information that's happening in our life. And at any one time, we've got about 11 million bits per second that we can take in, guys. Now, our brain will literally fry. We cannot take all that information. So guess what has to happen? In order for us to take that information, guess what Fred does? Fred has to delete, right? Fred has to distort, and Fred has to generalize a whole lot of information. And you know how much it does distort and delete and generalize? Down to about 134 bits of information. 134 bits, 126, depending on the books that you read. But from 11 million bits down to 134, you know what that is? That's 0.01% of data. And Fred makes a decision on what this means, consciousness, based on 0.01% of what he experienced. And so then that generates a state, a specific emotional response inside Fred, because he gives it a meaning, and then that creates his behavior. And so in classical psychology, guess what? We attempt to change the behavior here. Positive reinforcement and negative reinforcement. In order to change it, we've got to change the way you do things in here. Not what you think, how it is that you think it. It's the rewiring. It's your operating system, guys. Some of you have been operating on DOS. Some of you don't even know what DOS is. It's time to upgrade the operating system. It's time to actually put in a program that is immune to viruses, creating a mindset that supports your mind and your body and your soul to be able to be at the frequency vibration that it is able to be at its best and not be in harm's way what might be going on outside. And so in our NLP, we learn about this. We learn about how you can undelete, undistort, ungeneralize, because all this stuff, guys, I want you to understand, right? So you've collected stuff, you've given it a meaning over here, and the meaning is the result. This is the result over here, the behavior. So if you want to change the results in your life, you've got to change the meaning you give to the stuff. And the meaning you give to the stuff is determined by what you delete, distort, and generalize. And so if you're focusing on what you don't want, all the crap that's happening in your life, if you're focusing on that, you're deleting, distorting, generalizing all the things that you do want. What are you going to be left with? A lot of crap. What are you going to find more? More crap. What's the secret? Focus on what you do want. If you're focusing on what you do want, you're going to delete, distort, and generalize all the crap that you don't want. And so everything that comes to you in your life is grounded on the experiences of what you do want. So how do you do that is the question. Well, this is why we exist. So, you need to possibly Yeah, go to our website, guys, mbxinstitute.com. Maybe we'll put it in the chat so you can go and have a look at it and have a look at what it is that we do. You've got a lot of programs there. We've even got an MBX Evolution program. Just hop on that. You can give that a trial just for $1. You can have all these trainings and courses that we've done. You can bombard Netflix of personal development, self-growth and spiritual development. You can sit there and consume this information and allow your mind to expand, your heart to heal, and your soul to grow. And this is what I've been doing for the last 25, 30 years, and my wish for you is that you start making better decisions. See, our role as a coach, guys, let me come back in this chart. Our role as a coach is actually to rattle things up, to have a conversation with people, having a conversation with you today, so you can discover the decisions that you need to make in order to start moving your life forward. And by doing that, you've got to discover decisions that you have been making that have got your life to where it is today. What do you need to do in order to start moving forward? Because when you think about it, remember, we delete, distort, and generalize information. Most people are reactive. They're getting caught up with the stress and reacting. Why not look at the stress from a different perspective? Why not look at the stress doesn't exist, the stress response exists. The response is based on the meaning. This meaning creates a stress response in your body. The sweating, the hyperventilation, the hormone release, all that type of stuff, the stress hormones release comes from the meaning. And so if you change the meaning, if you look at the obstacle, right, or the thing that's happening to you, if you look at it as the situation that's going to help you become a better quality being, you start to realize that things happen for you to be a better person, and you perceive it differently. Based on your perception, well, partly cloudy, mostly sunny. Your perception changes the results that you get in your life, guys. And so my wish for you is that if you saw this live, great, have a listen to it again and maybe take some notes. What thinking do you need to let go of now? Want to start journaling at night. Journal at night. Maybe ask yourself some questions. What did you do great today? What could you do better tomorrow? Where did you let things slide today? What's the lesson you got out of that? And what are you going to commit to tomorrow to show up differently, to be a better quality human being, and to bring joy in other people's lives? So if you answer those questions every night, and then you go to bed, you go to the university at night, you go to sleep, you probably dream like we all dream, you remember your dream. And you probably find the solutions that you need to be able to live a better quality life the next day. Now you've got to do that consistently. You do that every day, every day, every day, every day. That's how the rewiring happens, right? 66 days is the latest research in terms of how you create habits, not 21 days. Susan Ladley in the University College of London, it's called, did a research show that it took 66 days to actually wire in, neurologically, a habit. So you need to do this for 66 days and your life will change. That's how you rewire your brain. It's the consistency, it's little things that you do every day that amount to the big things. So my wish for you is that you start to do that. My wish for you is that you start to consider what it is that you would like to have in your life. My wish for you is that you sit down with your family and your loved ones and have a conversation and say, hey, how are we going to make 2022 a better year in our life? Because here's something that I do know, guys, right? If nothing changes, nothing changes. So you can either choose to do nothing after this or do something after this, right? What I do know is that you're only one decision away from a totally different life. So I'd love to see you back here tomorrow at 12 or 12:15 as we get on, and we'll look at the second major move. Our first move, how do you go from reactive to resourceful? You need to rewire the brain. So you've got a choice. How do you do that? Rituals, consistency, and also look at how you can upskill yourself, up-level yourself, and learn a new craft. Learn something to build the new neurology in order for you to continue to grow. Because if you're not growing, you're dying. And if you're learning, you're growing. So if you're not learning, you're dying. So guys, my wish for you is that you start to move towards your destiny. Being the light, being the pure light that you have inside you, expressing your potential, expressing your spirit to the world because you have a gift, you have a magic. And my wish for you is that in 2022, that you live that magic, that you build that inner resilience inside, that strength. And you navigate the world ahead, and you get ahead, and you reconnect with your integrity, with the respect of yourself and trusting yourself, and you reconnect with your passion for life. Guys, thank you so much for being here. Blessings to all of you. I will see you tomorrow with part 2 of this video. Arthur Bablis signing out, and thank you for everyone who was here on all the different platforms, and we will see you tomorrow. Cheers.